Have your ankles been looking puffier lately, and you're not sure why? Many people over 60 start noticing that their ankles or feet swell by the end of the day. At first, it might seem like no big deal. Maybe you were on your feet too long, or maybe it's just part of getting older, right? But what if that gentle swelling is actually your body's quiet way of warning you that something more serious is going on? Swollen ankles in older adults can sometimes be the first visible sign of deeper issues, like heart disease, kidney problems, poor circulation, or even side effects from medications. And the tricky part is, the swelling doesn't always hurt. That's what makes it easy to ignore, until it becomes a much bigger health issue. Let me tell you about Mr. Walter, a 71-year-old retired school teacher. For months, he brushed off his swollen ankles as just water weight, or the result of too many salty snacks. But when he started feeling short of breath going up the stairs, he finally went to his doctor. What he found out shocked him. His heart wasn't pumping as strongly as it should, and the swelling in his ankles had been trying to tell him for weeks. In today's video, we're going to explore 7 silent reasons why your ankles might be swollen after 60 and why you should never ignore them. We'll talk about how your body's systems, like the heart, kidneys, and veins, are all connected, and how something as small as ankle swelling can actually be a red flag for something bigger. And more importantly, we'll talk about what you can do today to care for your health and prevent complications down the road. This might just be one of the most important videos you'll watch for your health this year, so stay with me all the way to the end. I know you are a person who likes to watch videos quietly. If you have not liked and subscribed to the channel, now is a good time to do it because you are a kind person. If the video is helpful, press 1. If the video is not good enough or needs improvement, press 2. Thanks everyone. Now let's get started. Number 1. It might be a warning sign from your heart when 73-year-old Margaret noticed her ankles swelling more than usual. She didn't think much of it. After all, she had been out gardening for hours and figured it was just from being on her feet too long. But then she started feeling short of breath, even when walking around the house. Her legs felt heavier, her shoes tighter, and something just didn't feel right. She finally visited her doctor, and what she learned changed everything. The swelling in her ankles was not just about being tired or aging. It was an early sign of congestive heart failure. Heart failure sounds frightening, and it can be, but it doesn't mean your heart has stopped. It means your heart is not pumping blood as effectively as it should. When the heart struggles to push blood through your body, fluid can build up in areas like the legs, feet, and especially the ankles. This condition is known as peripheral edema, and for many older adults, it's one of the first outward signs that the heart is under stress. Here's how it works. When your heart's pumping power weakens, it can't keep up with the blood returning from your lower body. Gravity pulls that extra fluid down toward your feet and ankles, where it starts to collect. This fluid buildup often gets worse by the end of the day, and may even leave a dent in your skin if you press on it. Something called pitting edema. Swelling related to heart problems often comes with other symptoms too, like shortness of breath, fatigue, weight gain, or even a feeling of tightness in the chest. But because these symptoms can show up slowly or seem unrelated, they're easy to miss or ignore. So how do you know when ankle swelling is just nothing or something serious? A good rule of thumb: if the swelling happens regularly, affects both ankles, or comes with other symptoms like shortness of breath, don't wait. It's time to speak with your doctor. Catching heart-related issues early can prevent them from becoming life-threatening later. The good news? There are very real and effective ways to manage heart health at any age. If the swelling is linked to heart function, doctors may recommend lifestyle changes such as reducing salt intake, elevating the legs, and gentle daily exercise to keep your circulation moving. In some cases, medications like diuretics, often called water pills, are prescribed to help your body release excess fluid. And don't forget the small, daily actions that can make a big impact. Eating more fresh fruits and vegetables, staying hydrated, cutting back on processed foods, and even something as simple as walking for 10 to 15 minutes a day can support your heart's function. Most importantly, stay in tune with your body. If something feels different, don't chalk it up to just aging. Think about it this way. Your heart has been beating for you every moment of your life, more than 100,000 times a day. When it sends a signal, even one as quiet as swelling in your ankles, it's worth listening to. Have you or someone you know ever experienced swollen ankles that turned out to be a heart issue? Did the swelling come on slowly, or did you notice it all at once? Let's start a conversation in the comments. Your story might help someone else recognize the signs before it's too late. Next, let's talk about another organ that can quietly contribute to swollen ankles. Your kidneys. They play a huge role in how your body handles fluid, and when they're struggling, your ankles may be the first place to show it. Let's dive into that in number 2. Number 2, your kidneys could be struggling. When 69-year-old George first noticed that his socks were leaving deep marks around his ankles, he thought he might be gaining weight or maybe sitting too long in his recliner. But over time, the swelling didn't go away. It got worse. His ankles looked puffy every morning, his legs felt heavier, and his energy levels were dropping. After months of brushing it off, his daughter finally convinced him to get checked. The diagnosis? Early-stage chronic kidney disease. Your kidneys may be small, but they do incredibly important work every single day. They filter your blood, remove waste, balance electrolytes, and help control your body's fluid levels. But as we age, especially after 60, the risk of kidney function decline increases. And one of the most common early signs is swelling in the ankles, feet, or even the lower legs. Here's what happens. When your kidneys aren't filtering blood effectively, extra fluid and sodium can build up in your body. Because of gravity, that fluid often collects in your lower limbs. You may notice that your shoes feel tighter, your ankles look puffier, and pressing your finger into the skin leaves a temporary indentation. But kidney-related swelling usually doesn't come alone. You might also notice more frequent or less frequent urination, foamy or bubbly urine, fatigue and weakness, poor appetite or metallic taste, dry, itchy skin. It's easy to overlook these symptoms because they can come on gradually. Many older adults chalk them up to just getting older. But that kind of thinking can delay care, and delay matters with kidney problems can lead to serious complications. So what can you do if you suspect your kidneys might be struggling? First, see your doctor and ask for a simple blood and urine test to check your kidney function. It's quick, non-invasive, and could give you answers you didn't know you needed. Second, consider your diet and lifestyle. High blood pressure and diabetes are two of the leading causes of kidney disease, and both can be managed with healthier eating, regular movement, and good hydration. Cut back on processed foods high in sodium. Eat more fresh vegetables and lean proteins. Stay well hydrated, but not overhydrated. About 6 to 8 cups of water a day is a good start unless your doctor advises otherwise. Also, watch out for over-the-counter medications that can hurt your kidneys, like NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, such as ibuprofen. If you're using pain relievers regularly, talk to your doctor about kidney-friendly options. One small step that George took was adding more potassium-rich foods to his meals, like bananas, spinach, and sweet potatoes. But only after his doctor said it was safe based on his kidney test results. Everyone's situation is different, so never make major changes without professional advice. Your kidneys are silent workers. They won't always shout when something's wrong, but they will leave clues. Swollen ankles might be one of those whispers. Pay attention, ask questions, and take action when something feels off. The earlier you know, the more you can do to protect them. Have you ever thought your kidney health might be affecting other parts of your body, like your skin, your energy levels, or even your sleep? It's amazing how connected everything is. Now that we've talked about your heart and kidneys, there's another system that can cause swelling, and it often affects people who stand or sit too long. Let's take a closer look at your veins in number 3. Number 3, chronic venous insufficiency. When veins can't do their job. Patricia, a 74-year-old grandmother from Ohio, had always prided herself on staying active. She walked her dog every morning, cooked for her grandkids, and loved tending to her backyard garden. But over the past year, she noticed her ankles and lower legs were often swollen by evening. At first, she thought it was just from being on her feet too much. But even on days when she barely moved, the swelling stayed. And sometimes it was even worse. Her legs felt heavy, her skin tight, and there was a dull aching by bedtime. After talking to her doctor, she learned something she'd never heard of before: chronic venous insufficiency, or CVI. CVI happens when the veins in your legs become too weak to send blood back up to your heart efficiently. Normally, tiny one-way valves inside your veins help keep blood flowing upward, working against gravity, but as we age, these valves can weaken or become damaged. When that happens, blood begins to pool in the lower part of your legs, leading to swelling, pressure, and even changes in skin color or texture. It's a slow process, but over time it can lead to serious complications like varicose veins, skin ulcers, and infections. One of the telltale signs of venous insufficiency is that the swelling tends to get worse at the end of the day and may improve overnight while your legs are elevated. You might feel heaviness or aching, especially after standing for a long time. Some people notice visible veins under the skin, while others experience skin that starts to look shiny or discolored. In Patricia's case, she also noticed that wearing her usual socks left deep marks, and her lower legs sometimes felt warm and itchy. CVI is more common than most people think, especially after the age of 60. And the good news is it can often be managed or even prevented from getting worse with the right steps. For many people, one of the most effective changes is simply elevating the legs for 15 to 30 minutes a few times a day. This helps the blood flow back toward the heart and reduces pressure in the veins. Another helpful option is wearing compression socks, which gently squeeze the legs to support healthy circulation. They may not be the most fashionable accessory, but they can make a world of difference in comfort and health. Movement is also key. When you sit or stand in one position for too long, whether you're watching TV, riding in a car, or working at a desk, the blood in your legs isn't circulating as well. That's why short walks throughout the day, or simple exercises like ankle circles or heel lifts, can help tremendously. Every time you move your leg muscles, you're actually helping your veins pump blood upward. Diet and hydration also play a role. Drinking plenty of water helps keep your blood from becoming too thick, and reducing salt in your diet can prevent fluid retention. And if you're overweight, even a small amount of weight loss can relieve some of the pressure on your leg veins. Patricia didn't need surgery or medication. She started elevating her legs every afternoon, wore compression socks during her morning walks, and made a few changes to her diet. Within a month, she noticed the swelling had reduced significantly, and she felt lighter on her feet. If you've been noticing swelling that gets worse at the end of the day, or a heavy, tired feeling in your legs, it might be time to ask your doctor about your circulation. Don't wait for the problem to get worse. Like so many health issues, early attention can prevent long-term damage. Have you ever felt that kind of heaviness or swelling in your legs and thought it was just normal for your age? You're not alone, but that doesn't mean you should accept it as your new normal. Up next, let's talk about something surprising: how some of the medications you take every day might be the quiet culprits behind your swollen ankles. Stay with me for number 4. Number 4, medications might be causing it. When 70-year-old Harold noticed his ankles swelling up every evening, he blamed it on the summer heat. He cut back on salt, walked more, and even tried elevating his legs in the afternoons. Nothing seemed to help, but what finally made the difference wasn't a change in his diet or activity. It was a change in his medication. You see, Harold had started a new blood pressure pill 3 months earlier, and as it turned out, the drug that was helping his heart was quietly causing his ankles to swell. Many older adults take several medications daily for blood pressure, diabetes, pain, depression, and more. What most people don't realize is that some of these drugs can have unexpected side effects, and ankle swelling is a very common one. These medications don't necessarily mean something is wrong, but they can cause your body to retain fluid or affect circulation in ways that lead to puffiness in the lower legs and ankles. Some of the most frequent culprits are certain types of blood pressure medications, particularly calcium channel blockers. These drugs help relax the blood vessels, making it easier for the heart to pump blood. but they can also widen the tiny vessels in the lower body, allowing fluid to leak into the surrounding tissues, especially around the ankles. Similarly, some medications used to treat diabetes, steroids used for inflammation, or even common anti-inflammatory pain relievers like ibuprofen can all lead to fluid retention. For people like Harold, the tricky part is that the benefits of the medication might outweigh the side effects, at least in the beginning. That's why it's so important not to stop or adjust any medication on your own. What worked for Harold was a conversation with his doctor. After explaining his symptoms and when they started, the doctor confirmed the link between his new medication and the swelling. They adjusted his prescription, and within a couple of weeks, his ankles started returning to normal. It's easy to assume that ankle swelling means something serious is wrong with your organs, but in some cases, it's just your body reacting to something new. That's why it's always important to keep track of when symptoms start. Did the swelling begin after starting a new medication? Has it worsened over time? Is it happening daily or only after taking a specific pill? These are questions that can help your doctor figure out the root cause much faster. If you suspect your medication might be the cause of your swelling, don't panic. And don't stop taking it without medical advice. Write down your symptoms, how often they occur, and how they change during the day. Bring that list with you to your next appointment. Doctors appreciate when patients are observant and proactive, and it helps them make safer, more informed decisions for your care. Remember that your body changes as you age, and the way you respond to medications can change too. Something that worked fine in your 50s might act differently in your 70s. That's not your fault. It's just the reality of aging. What matters is staying alert, asking questions, and being an active partner in your own health. Harold's story is a reminder that sometimes the solution is simpler than we expect. It wasn't a major disease or a hidden condition, it was a side effect. But by paying attention, asking the right questions, and working with his doctor, he found relief. Have you ever experienced a strange side effect from a medication you were taking? Did it take a while to connect the dots? If so, you're not alone, and your story might help others do the same. Coming up, we'll explore another lesser-known but important cause of ankle swelling, a condition called lymphedema. It often goes unnoticed until it becomes uncomfortable or even painful. Let's look at what happens when your body's lymph system starts to struggle. In number 5. Number 5. Could it be lymphedema? Joanne, a 67-year-old former nurse, always took pride in staying active and independent. She loved her morning walks, her book club, and spending time with her grandkids. But last year something changed. She started noticing that one of her ankles was swelling more than the other. It wasn't tender, but it felt tight, heavy, and sometimes warm to the touch. At first, she thought it was just from standing too long, or maybe a minor sprain, but the swelling never went away. Over time, it even spread up to her calf. That's when her doctor told her she had lymphedema, a condition she had heard about during her nursing days, but never imagined would affect her personally. Lymphedema is a chronic condition that happens when your body's lymphatic system, which plays a vital role in removing waste and maintaining fluid balance, becomes damaged or blocked. This damage can be caused by aging, surgery, cancer treatments, infections, or even injury. When the lymph system can't properly drain fluid, it begins to build up in the tissues, often in the arms or legs, leading to noticeable swelling. Unlike swelling that comes and goes throughout the day, lymphedema often sticks around and can gradually worsen if left untreated. One of the unique features of lymphedema is that it may only affect one leg or arm, though it can occur on both sides in some cases. The swelling tends to feel dense, not squishy like fluid retention from salt or medications. People often describe the sensation as tightness, heaviness, or pressure, and in more advanced cases, the skin can begin to feel hard, thickened, or even start to change in texture. Clothes and shoes may no longer fit the same. It can become uncomfortable not just physically, but emotionally. Many people feel self-conscious about how their legs or ankles look. What makes lymphedema especially tricky is that it can be easily mistaken for other causes of swelling. That's why it's important to pay attention to how the swelling behaves. Is it always in the same spot, Does it get worse as the day goes on, but never fully goes away? Does it seem to respond poorly to elevation or compression socks? These clues can help doctors make the correct diagnosis. The good news is that lymphedema can often be managed effectively, especially when caught early. One of the first lines of treatment is something called manual lymphatic drainage, a gentle form of massage that helps move fluid through the lymph system. There are also specialized compression garments designed for lymphedema, which apply targeted pressure to reduce swelling and prevent it from getting worse. Gentle exercise, especially things like walking, swimming, or light yoga, can also help keep the lymphatic system moving and reduce symptoms. In some cases, people work with a certified lymphedema therapist who can create a personalized plan for managing the condition long-term. Joanne made a few key changes once she understood what was happening. She began wearing her compression stockings daily, followed a gentle stretching routine every morning, and even found a local support group where others shared their experiences and tips. Not only did her swelling improve, but her confidence did too. She no longer felt alone in what she was going through. If you've noticed persistent swelling, especially if it's mostly on one side or doesn't respond to the usual remedies, it's worth asking your doctor about lymphedema. You don't have to live with the discomfort or uncertainty. There are tools and support systems out there that can help you regain control and feel more comfortable in your own body again. Have you ever heard of lymphedema before? Do you think your swelling might be related to your lymph system instead of your heart or kidneys? Don't be afraid to bring it up with your healthcare provider. Sometimes the most overlooked causes are the ones we most need to explore. Next, let's talk about something even more common than you might realize: how inactivity and sitting too long, especially in our golden years, can quietly lead to swollen ankles. It's coming up in number 6. Number 6, inactivity and sitting. Too long after his retirement at age 68, Robert found himself enjoying the slower pace of life. He loved watching baseball games in his recliner, reading the newspaper every morning, and enjoying long, quiet afternoons with his cat curled up beside him. But slowly he began to notice something strange. His ankles were starting to swell by the evening. At first he blamed it on salty snacks or maybe the heat, but even when he cut back on sodium and stayed cool indoors, the puffiness returned, especially after sitting for a few hours straight. It wasn't until his doctor explained the effects of prolonged inactivity that he realized his favorite quiet moments were quietly affecting his circulation. As we get older, our bodies become more sensitive to how we sit, stand, and move. Our muscles, particularly in the legs, play an important role in helping blood circulate back up toward the heart. Every time we move our calves, thighs, or even flex our ankles, we're activating something called the muscle pump. This gentle movement supports healthy blood flow and prevents fluid from settling in the lower limbs. But when we sit still for long periods, whether it's in a chair, on the couch, or during a long car or plane ride, this natural system slows down and gravity takes over. Blood begins to pool in the lower parts of the body, and that's when the swelling starts. For many older adults, this happens so gradually that it's easy to overlook. You might think your socks are getting tighter, or that your shoes don't fit quite right at the end of the day. You may feel a slight stiffness in your ankles or calves when you finally get up to move. Over time, this can lead not only to visible swelling, but also to more serious issues like blood clots, varicose veins, and increased pressure in your lower leg veins. It's especially important for those who already have heart or vein-related conditions to be extra mindful of how long they're sitting. But here's the good news. Even small, simple movements can make a big difference. You don't need to run a marathon or go to the gym every day. Just standing up every 30 to 60 minutes, walking around the house, or even doing gentle foot and ankle exercises while seated can help get your blood moving again. Flexing your ankles up and down, rotating your feet in circles, or lifting your heels and then your toes while seated are all powerful little habits that support circulation. Robert began setting a timer on his phone to remind him to stand up and stretch every 45 minutes. He would walk around the house, refill his water bottle, or take a few deep breaths while slowly pacing by the window. At first, it felt like a chore, but within 2 weeks, he noticed his ankles weren't swelling as much, and his legs felt lighter and more energized. He also found that moving more regularly helped his back, mood, and even sleep improve, all from taking a few small breaks throughout the day. Incorporating these gentle habits doesn't mean giving up your favorite pastimes. You can still enjoy reading, television, or long phone calls, but balance them with little bursts of movement. Your legs and ankles will thank you, and your heart will too. So the next time you find yourself sitting for a while, ask yourself, when was the last time I moved my legs? Have I stood up in the past hour? Could I stretch for just 2 minutes right now? These simple questions could help you prevent swelling, discomfort, and even more serious health issues down the line. Have you ever experienced swelling after a long day of sitting, perhaps during a car ride or flight? Did it catch you by surprise, or did you assume it was just part of aging? You're not alone, and it's never too late to start building better habits, one step and one stretch at a time. Next, let's look at something that might be sitting right on your plate: your diet. Specifically, how eating too much salt can quietly make your ankles swell, and what changes you can make today to take back control in number 7. Number 7, diet and salt overload. Eleanor had always considered herself a healthy eater. At 72, she cooked most of her meals at home, avoided fried foods, and rarely touched desserts. But over the past year, she began to notice something that didn't quite make sense. Her ankles were swelling almost every evening. She tried putting her feet up, walking more, even changing her shoes. But the puffiness stayed. One day during a checkup, her doctor asked her what she usually ate in a typical day. Eleanor proudly listed her favorite canned soups, deli meats, a few crackers in the afternoon, and the occasional frozen dinner when she didn't feel like cooking. That's when her doctor gently explained, even though she wasn't eating junk food, her meals were packed with hidden salt. Many people associate a high-salt diet with chips, fast food, or overly processed snacks. But the truth is, sodium sneaks into our diets in ways we often don't expect, especially through packaged and convenience foods that seem harmless. Canned soups, salad dressings, sauces, cheese, bread, cold cuts, and even healthy frozen meals can all contain surprising amounts of sodium. For older adults, this matters more than ever, because as we age, our kidneys become less efficient at filtering out excess sodium. When there's too much sodium in the bloodstream, the body holds on to water to try to dilute it. That extra fluid doesn't just disappear, it settles into the tissues, particularly around the feet and ankles, leading to swelling and discomfort. Swelling caused by salt doesn't always show up immediately. Sometimes it builds up quietly over days or weeks. You may notice your rings or shoes feeling tighter, your socks leaving deep marks, or your lower legs looking puffy in the mirror. And it's not just a cosmetic issue. Excess sodium also raises blood pressure, puts stress on your heart, and can worsen conditions like kidney disease and heart failure, all of which contribute to even more swelling. The good news is that this is one of the most fixable causes of ankle swelling. You don't have to give up flavor or all your favorite foods. Just start reading labels more carefully. Many older adults are shocked to see that a single can of soup or a frozen dinner can have more than half of the recommended daily sodium intake. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 1,500 to 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day for older adults, but most people consume well over that without realizing it. Eleanor began making small changes. She switched to low-sodium broths, started seasoning her food with herbs and lemon instead of salt, and took the time to prepare a few meals in bulk each week to freeze herself, giving her the same convenience without the sodium overload. After just a few weeks, the swelling in her ankles had noticeably reduced, and she felt less bloated and more energetic. She even started sleeping better. If you're not sure where to begin, try this. Choose one packaged food you eat regularly and check the sodium content on the label. If it's over 400 to 500 milligrams per serving, that's a sign it might be contributing to fluid retention. Next, start experimenting with flavor using fresh ingredients. Garlic, onion, basil, oregano, thyme, rosemary, and citrus can all make food taste amazing without extra salt. Staying well hydrated also helps flush excess sodium from your system, so drinking more water is always a smart choice. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when you learn that something so common, like salt, could be behind your swelling. But remember, knowledge is power, and small changes truly can lead to big improvements in how your body feels and functions. Have you ever checked the sodium on the label of your favorite foods? Were you surprised by what you found? Maybe you've made changes already. Or maybe today is the day you start. Either way, your body will thank you. Now that we've covered the most common causes of swollen ankles after 60, from heart and kidney issues to diet and inactivity, it's time to bring everything together. Let's wrap up with some final thoughts, encouragement, and practical advice in the conclusion. So now that we've walked through the many reasons your ankles might be swelling after 60, one thing is clear. It's never just normal aging. Your body's always talking to you, and those puffy ankles could be its quiet way of waving a red flag. Whether it's your heart not pumping efficiently, your kidneys struggling to filter, weakened veins, side effects from medication, or even a salty diet, swelling is often a symptom of something deeper. And the earlier you catch it, the better your chances of staying healthy, active, and independent. The beautiful part is that you don't have to become a medical expert or change everything overnight. Small steps like taking a walk every hour, checking food labels, elevating your legs in the evening, or simply bringing your concerns to your doctor can lead to powerful improvements. Listening to your body, staying curious, and asking the right questions is what proactive aging is all about. Many people in their 60s, 70s, or beyond believe that discomfort is just part of getting older. But that's not always true. Swollen ankles don't have to be your new normal. And when you treat them as the clue they are, instead of brushing them off, you give yourself the gift of prevention, peace of mind, and possibly even extra years of good health. Let today be the day you take a closer look at what your body is trying to tell you. Start with your ankles, but don't stop there. Keep asking, keep learning, and keep caring for yourself. You've come this far, and you deserve to enjoy these years feeling as strong, steady, and supported as possible. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this video helped you understand something new or made you feel more confident about your health, feel free to share it with someone else who might need it too. You never know whose life you could improve with just a little knowledge and kindness. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep moving forward with purpose, grace, and a whole lot of heart. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and haven't yet liked and subscribed, now is the perfect time to do so. It really helps our channel grow and reach more people who need this kind of helpful content. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll always know when a new video is up. Your support truly means the world to us. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.